Yeah, so what we do is we have scanning technology that goes to websites, and it goes to lots of websites simultaneously. So, going to, 50, 500, 5,000 websites, the sort of scale we run to. I mean, we're looking at sort of how you police countries, so how we can look at 2 to 5 million websites to benchmark them. And what we do is we'll go to a website. We look at actually all of the objects and the tracking technologies that are being set before any consent's been given. Now, there is an allowance for essential cookies or cookie management systems are essential, as are load balancing. So it takes that sort of thing into account. And then what it's doing is once it's gone to the website, it's looked at the objects that are being set, say before any consent's been given. And then based on the objects that are set, it'll create a score. And the score is intelligent, whereby if you've just got a few cookies which are doing load balancing, consent management, and you score 5 out of 10, you score a total of 5, you'll be green. We've created a green, go from green to red in terms of how we report. And this is the record this month where GoDaddy scored over 4,000. But when you talk about the value of an index, when you look at the cookies that are being set here, you can clearly see there's an error in the way their pages are generating cookies, and it's generating thousands of cookies on a page, which could cause considerable impact on performance as well. So what it's doing, it's looking at the cookies, and then it's looking at the sort of who actually is the ultimate data recipient. So if you've got DoubleClick, if you've got YouTube, if you've got Google, those will score higher than if you've got you've got a Facebook cookie and you've got a Twitter cookie, because it's looking at really what is so the score is really about what is the impact on privacy. So you've got the name of the organization, the domain, you've got the overall score here, and then what we've got is the change. So there's something happened. So this is what we're talking about, sort of an early warning. So the likes of this website here, that the change was nearly 4,000. So there's only 100. It did score 100 before, and now it scores, except for this sort of level here, which would indicate something's gone wrong. And then how you can track over time. So it used to be orange, and then went to red. There's a website, Dollar Tree here. They look like they used to score. They used to be green, and now they score red. We're also building in the technology to interact with the actual consent management platform. So we've got the first 3 or 4 implemented. OneTrust is the most prevalent and the most obvious on websites. I mean, the Dollar Tree one is an actual website where we had a look at it to just check it, and they've implemented a consent management platform. But the challenge is the consent management platform doesn't seem to be displaying properly. So it's a sort of a double whammy really of a problem. So you've got that, and with this you can rank the website, so you can look at who scores the best. And Alphabet, Google scores, is in the sort of top in terms of the scoring. Now, I know people talk about Google as a sort of the big data collection thing, etc. But what we bizarrely find is because we also do accessibility auditing at sort of various levels, and Alphabet is because we rank the Fortune and the sort of NASDAQ as well, and Alphabet is probably one of the best sites for accessibility as well. So in terms of digital capability, you sort of have to point to Google leading, but yeah, so you can rank it in any way, or you can search. You can also click here, so you can click on here, and then that will take you into the detail of how the score's calculated. So we've got what is the overall score. To say there's an allowance. Cookies are used by websites, and then as you go through, we originally thought the scale would be 100, then we thought the scale was 500. Etc. Now this is the number of sort of cookies that are looking at it. You then get a breakdown of all the domains which are setting, and then what type of things. So the cookies. So all of these traditionally are the third-party cookies, but then there's the web storage objects in the database. So that's the sort of top level. And then what you can do is click into the detail. So you can see exactly what is the cookie in use. You can open it up and say, well, I want to see the DoubleClick. So I want to see the name of the cookie, the journey the cookie goes on, where the data is going to, how long the cookie lasts, and then the size of the object.